why after here, we are heading to the SHA offices so that they can also come out and tell Kenyans if now they are the ones to determine who gets the right to be able to access the health services.
They have issued a 14-day strike notice if their demands are not met.
It's unfortunate that this has come 7 years we have not been having issues of the intern, and this is coming during a time when every Kenya has anxiety in terms of what is happening in the ministry, confused with the issues of SHA and the Shisha, wherever it is being called.
The unions vow to stand by the clinical interns who, despite signing contracts issued by the Ministry of Health 7 months ago, have yet to receive payments.
Not paying their stipend as it was stipulated on their letters of posting has pushed them to actually being beggars, and some of them even being locked out of their places where they stay.
The clinical interns have expressed concerns about the difficult working conditions, calling for urgent intervention as many are struggling with depression.
Despite everything, we are still working and we don't have a medical cover. Keeping in mind that in the medical field we have diseases that maybe one may contract accidentally, or in the event of his offering duty, he or she may have a problem.
As much as we claim that the doctors are saviors, but who is saving us? If we are going without food, we're doing like 36 hours shift, like from morning till evening. There's somebody who doesn't even have money to buy food. So even during the ward rounds, as much as you're expected to learn, what are you learning when you're hungry?
Robbie Omondi, K24.
Staying on matters of health, the long-awaited reopening of the War Memorial Hospital is now in motion after being closed for approximately 8 months. This follows a court order issued on October 1st, which directed the immediate reopening of the facility under specific conditions. Now, unlike before, when the hospital was privately managed, the new order mandates a joint management structure. Today, members of the County Assembly were on site to oversee the implementation of the court's directives. Mombiombogu has more on this.
War Memorial Hospital, which serves thousands of Kenyans, has been closed for nearly a year now due to a leasing dispute between its management and the county government of Nakuru. Good. After a long legal battle, the court ruled that the hospital should reopen under the condition that its management will be shared between the previous private operators, the Nakuru County government, and a third party appointed by the Attorney General's office and the land registrar.
The court gave 8 conditions to facilitate the opening and management of the hospital. And condition number 2 says that the hospital, Nakuru War Memorial Hospital Limited, shall be opened immediately under the joint management of the 2 persons nominated by the applicants and 2 persons nominated by the respondents, while the second and the third respondents shall nominate 1 person.
The court order also stipulates that the joint management team will be responsible for overseeing the hospital's operations, including managing staff and dealing with suppliers. Today, Nakuru County MCAs visited the hospital to ensure the court order is being enforced, as previous directives have been blatantly ignored.
Memorial hoye! Hoye! Memorial hoye! Hoye!
The MCAs emphasized that this time the county executive has no option but to comply.
Having a very big problem with the executive being given orders of which they have never even adhered to one. So today we decided now, we as the MCAs who are doing the oversight, who are doing the representation of our GICO, should come and open this hospital. We have talked with the management of this hospital, they are coming, and now the next day they shall call all the staffs.
The closure had led to the disruption of health services, especially for patients with terminal illnesses. Many had to seek care at more expensive facilities outside the county.
Freedom, War Memorial, freedom! Freedom!
The reopening of War Memorial Hospital will bring much needed relief to thousands of patients.
PGH
ambao ni referral hospital yetu ya hapa Nakuru haina services nzuri. Hospitali yetu ya PGH imekuwa mbaya kabisa. Pale patient akipelekwa hana services ambayo mwananchi wa kawaida anafaa kupata. Huko wameweka pesa mbele.
Mumbi wa Mbogo, K24 TV, Nakuru County.
Now, the government of Kenya has set aside over 100 million shillings for the evacuation of Kenyan citizens caught up in the war in Lebanon. Appearing before the Senate committee, the Prime CS further noted that the government reached out to over 26,000 Kenyans in Lebanon, but only 1,500 Kenyans acknowledged the need for help in evacuation. The Prime CS was responding to Nairobi Senator Edwin Sifuna, who sought for information regarding the status of the Kenyan missions in the U.S.
The Prime Cabinet Secretary Musalia Mudavadi acknowledged reaching out through messages to Kenyans living in Lebanon concerning the ongoing wars in the country. Mudavadi noted the Foreign Affairs Ministry, in collaboration with the security agencies, has developed mechanisms to help evacuate Kenyans caught up in the war.
But the government of Kenya has set aside 100 million, and there's a committee in the Foreign Affairs working with the security and other agencies to see how this 100 million can be utilized to assist in the evacuation of Kenyans.
Mudavadi, however, said some Kenyans had requested to continue with their usual business in the country.
We also had a situation where the Kenyans there, out of their own volition, say they don't want to move. They want to hold out until the situation cools down.
Responding to Edwin Sifuna's question on the status of the Kenya missions in the US, Mudavadi noted system rejection of foreign numbers and manual processing of identification cards for Kenyans in diaspora as some of the challenges causing the delays in the issuance of identity national cards.
Affairs did yield about 2,500 IDs in different towns, and therefore we'll continue in the efforts to make sure that we reach out. Automation and technology are things we are pursuing within the context of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. One of the challenges that we have faced and we continue to face is actually the resource allocation.
On question of safety of Kenyans working in the UAE, the Prime Cabinet Secretary said the government has partnered with countries such as Austria and Qatar to advance labor relations and decent treatment of Kenyans working abroad.
We have the bilateral labor agreements, which we are working on. We have negotiated some, like with Germany, with Austria. Through these bilateral agreements, we want to try and secure the dignity of Kenyans in the various places that they prefer to work in.
Anthony Kwemoi, K24 TV.
Now, Principal Secretary for Housing Charles Hinger today toured Tonoko Steel manufacturers, a key supplier for the government's affordable housing initiative. The company received a 15 million shilling grant to sponsor an affordable housing week event during Mashujaa Day in Diani, Kwale. Hinger highlighted the project's potential to create jobs for Kenyans through increased steel production. With over 124,000 affordable housing units under construction and 40,000 more in the tendering stage, the demand for steel is expected to rise. Tonoko Steel, already producing 18,000 tons of steel monthly, aims to expand production to meet the growing demand.
Delighted to be here at Tonoko. They are our main sponsors for next week's Affordable Housing Week, which coincides with our Mashujaa Day on the 20th. So let me from the onset take this opportunity to invite every Kenyan from the 14th to the 18th. We shall be in Diani, Kwale, where we shall be showcasing all the developments that we have undertaken the last 1 year with respect to the affordable housing program. And then we have so many doors. As a matter of fact, we have given Juakalis industry about 4 billion worth of doors and windows to fabricate. So most of you have been wondering why we've been quiet. We've just been working and making sure we ramp up, and so that when we come back to you, we can be able to show you that the resources that you have provided us, we are putting them to good use.
When we run on full capacity, then it means that we also help in growing the economy. So the government plays a very critical role in our sector, plays a very critical role in the products that we produce.
Well, on that note, we take another break. We'll be back in a moment.
Have you watched K24? We would love to hear from you. Send us your feedback on what you like and what you don't like and why. You can use any platform to reach us. We can be reached on Facebook, SMS, Twitter, and WhatsApp.
Jumbo Kenya. This is Glenn Washington. I will be performing live for you and yours with my band at the Africa Bound Reggae Summer Fest 2024 and Shashamane International 40th anniversary. Brought to you by Shashamane International at the KICC ground on Saturday, October 19th, hosted by QT, Lisa, and Zendi Imbo. Tuane Bambai, saying, I see you soon. Rastafari bless each and every one. You should know this by now. You're my #1 girl. There is no other. Oh no, not in this world. We live together and several we never.
Multi bonus. Zidisha ushindi wako hadi asilimia 1000 na multi bonus 1000%. Kuwa mshindi. Mozart Bet.
Let's talk matters of business now, and the Kenya Tourism Board has praised the recent Magical Kenya Travel Expo as a key driver in the nation's goal of attracting 2.5 million tourists by the end of the year. Now, Kenya Tourism Board CEO June Chepkemei noted that the three-day expo held at the Uhuru Gardens in Nairobi brought together over 180 international buyers from more than 35 countries, alongside 4,000 delegates and 417 exhibitors. Chepkemei stated that this turnout enhances Kenya's status as a premier global tourism destination and fosters valuable partnership with the local stakeholders. With 1.8 million visitors recorded by August, Kenya Tourism Board plans to ramp up marketing efforts through future expos and international trade shows.
We started the Magical Kenya Travel Expo on Thursday last week with familiarization tours of over 180 for buyers that came into the country. They traveled to different parts of the country to experience the tourism product, and we have 9 circuits, and they were able to cover all the 9 circuits. We had an opening ceremony, and for the last 3 days, we've seen great, amazing outcomes. We've had over 180 quality buyers. We've had delegation, about 4,000 delegations. We've had 417 exhibitors. And all these guests are coming from over 35 countries globally, from our strong source market and even new markets that we are opening.
What has happened now and where the market is in Africa, Kenya is the launching pad for Africa. MKT becomes the launching pad for Africa, and we embrace the position that we are sitting on today as the launching pad for Africa marketing. The 3-day conference has given Kenya a lot of mileage, and not just Kenya. If you look at the stands, East Africa is here, and the better part of South Africa is also here. The prospects are good. and we look for a very good market for 2025. But we need the same to happen again to ensure that Africa is put on the pedestal for 2025-2026.
K24 Sports News, powered by Mozart Bet.
Back to the future. The future is simulate. Bet smarter. Win faster now. Be a winner.
The 2024 Stanchart Marathon will be live on K24 TV. But before that, let's play. My name is Chris Migwambo. Harambee Stars head coach Engin Firat has said that it's not going to be a walk in the park when the Kenya men's football team Harambee Stars will be facing Cameroon in the third game of the 2025 Africa Cup of Nations qualifiers to be held in Yaoundé, Cameroon. Stars are flying out to Cameroon on Thursday, leading Group J with 4 points.